Hello everyone and welcome to another match of R18. I see that message now by Scruffy and Fenium, but there is no time to get to it because we have one match in 1 minute and 20 seconds and it is a great one at that. It will be, as far as I understand, the second of the Winners Bracket Round 3 matches with both players ready, so that's great. And the players are Nezuko-chan, one of the, if not one of the fastest, but one of the not too consistent players at the same time, but still an all-time contender for especially the last couple tournaments. He's getting it all together, and I do want to check, but I think he's getting to that top 6, top 8, top 10 spots consistently now. And on the other side we have Meekah, one of the big returnees. I think that was R17, middle of last year, their first tournament, and slowly but surely, and actually very fast and consistent, getting back to their rhythm. And it would be much better if I knew the exact placements, but Meekah was also a top 6 player, if I'm not mistaken, RWC 2025. So this is, which is, you would say it's a round of 16 of the winners bracket, is a definite tough matchup this early in the tournament, and the loser will be, although down in the LB, but hopefully definitely not out, and with a very successful LB run yet to go. The first map is Berlin, chosen by Nezuko-chan, one of his main maps, I think his main map, but also Meekah is considered the original Berlin goat along with Chris for the longest time, so this should be plenty of fireworks from the beginnings. The first spin is Next Snap Biker NTKO, Fall Suit, Garden Fork as DJ, Battle Axe as Rolf, and Old Axe as Club Security. To Meekah's greatest surprise, it will be an Old Axe spin, unless Meekah just pressed an Alt F4. Obviously I'm joking, but there's a chance that these will be rips, obviously, and if the game crashes during the loading screen, then that will be a restart. I think by this point Meekah would have said something in chat, but they have not. We are waiting for a response from Meekah. Even if they think it's obvious it's a crash, we cannot say it for sure, but I think now we will quickly realize with the IRS screen that it was indeed a crash, and it will be a restart as well. Well, restart is not the correct word, it's a respin. Out of the way with the first spin, but gives me more time to adjust the volumes. I'm just gonna trying to figure out if Meekah has music, because they used to have, but that might be just Roulette League stuff. I think I can get away with listening to both of them, and that will be the case until Nezuko talks between spins, because that's a common occurrence. So 2 minutes 15 to go, and I have some time to read the chat. Hello Fenium, hello Scruffy, Parapluie, Kamboychak, and everyone else who is here. Yeah, it is definitely a very hype matchup, and I think I have to. Oh, I'm adding a lot of decibels to myself, so sorry if you have to readjust the volume. I just realized that I was very low, but hopefully with this sound level you'll be fine. It is luckily only 3 minutes since the stream started, so it didn't take me a couple of minutes to realize the situations. Berlin is the most notorious map for crashes, and I think the only map where you can almost always expect one of them to crash, and we have had situations in the World Championship 25 where one player crashed, we got the respin, and the other player crashed, and we had to play on a third spin, but I think we never got over 3, luckily. So the question is that Fenium, who is our match admin, what kind of spin he cooked up as the second of our Berlin spins today, and hopefully the valid one. We have Loud Shotgun, Rolf Hirschmüller and NTKO, Drowning as Bartender, we have Fire Axe as Biker, Loud Pistol as a DJ, and Kitchen Knife as a Club Security. I think it's a lot more streamlined, even if Loud Shotgun Rolf is something you are, I guess, generally wary of. And the loading screen happens for both of them, still fine, so hopefully we get to keep going. quick plans, quick club crew starts, which there is no suit in the spin. It is, I think, most often the ideal choice to start with club crew. You get to start with a pistol, which you count from suit start, but obviously you have other means to bring in firearms. In the end, it's just a much more centralized starting location. Meekah has become the bartender, but also Nezuko a couple seconds earlier. But the one difference that seems to be is that Nezuko is going the long way around, but only halfway around, because getting the fire axe and then bring it towards that is Agent Swan, who is sick already. Nezuko made him sick at the beginning of the spin, Meekah only at 30 seconds, so it will be a bit of a wait until the drowning kill happens for our blue player. Nezuko with the I don't think you can get a quicker bartender drowning kill than that, but that's the one kill down, and we'll get that red triangle there, followed by Meekah in a couple seconds, so that will be one kill each. I think the main difference so far is that Nezuko's briefcase contains the fire axe, which will be important for kill number 3, that live biker kill, but we might be waiting a bit longer than that. I'm not playing enough Berlin to trust that. Nezuko does not get side KO or orange witness on the security, but gets the 3 KOs down. That was a breaching charge, right? There is no reason to use the breaching charge in this run, except that maybe it was a wrench. I might be really wrong on the loadout, but that seemed like a weird throw to me. But 10 is down as well for Nezuko, and that will be the Lowenthal kill very soon. There's a bit of a panic on Meekah's end, but it looks like they're making this the other way around. Lots of happening at the same time. Nezuko takes the kitchen knife, but not the shotgun that will probably be already taken from the agency pickup. Meekah takes the kitchen knife, changes back into club security, and that will be Lowenthal down for number 5, changes into biker, and before the panic stops, that will be a Thames live fire axe kill. I think Meekah also has the fire axe, because it was just the order of operations that was different for both of them, and no, Meekah doesn't have it yet. So they will have to hope for the panic to last a little bit longer, but otherwise that will be 3 kills for them, same as Nezuko, who is, I think, fairly in the lead by at least 20 to 30 seconds. And yeah, now Agent Thames, is walking back, but luckily both of the securities are down, so that's an easy KO there. None of them were luckily woken up, so that doesn't make the situation more complicated. So that is kills 2, 3, and 5 all done, and now it's time to go down for the mandatory downstairs kills. Of course, you can't bring a DJ up or Rolf up. You have to take on the disguise if you want to bring or kill the upstairs agent. And Nezuko is anticipating these loud kills, and that will usually mean that the DJ booth gets occupied by either the remaining DJ or some other NPCs. So Nezuko, Meekah gets a side KO, and that will be heard by the other biker and maybe Rolf. So all that we had about a potential tight matchup will have to be over, and Meekah gets a crash on the restart, but this will not qualify as someone being in play. It's a significant lead by Nezuko, so I think the PF or photo finish window is extended to 3 minutes. Loud pistol DJ for Nez, who gets locked out but gets back into the security hub, and there is one more kill left for Nez. That's the triple shot, and now it's just waiting. I'm curious to see how much Nezuko wants to speed this one up, and apparently the answer is a lot. Oh, this is gonna be a bit sketch. Will Banner start running before Montgomery arrives? And that is the case. So now it's about, can Nezuko be ballsy on this kill? This feels very risky, but of course Nezuko has played this so many more times than I or most of us have. It's gonna be one loud shot from the bottom of these stairs. The ragdoll doesn't make it difficult. I'm not seeing any extended legal and no one panics away. Nezuko is out with the green gun. 527 RTA on a spin that contained 2 red boxes, 2 loud kills. One of them kills were both of them, so definitely not the easiest ones, but after all this, a very ethical dump press, that is true. And then I think this ranks pretty high up on the fastest burning completions of all time. The answer is that 527 is not top 10, but the 13th fastest of the 593 Berlin spins we had. This is 594, almost 600 Berlin spins so far. While technically a 3-minute photo finish window, I don't expect it to go all the way, because I don't think Meekah can realistically finish in the next 2 full minutes. So unless there is some verification issues on Phanium's end, I think the map is over. I'm sure we will hear from Phanium in chat if there's anything going on, but I don't think much is happening. Okay, now the 2-0 score is added. I think regardless of that Meekah attempt, Nezuko was always gonna finish first. And of course when Meekah crashed, and Nezuko didn't know, but it was a clean finish to take his home map. But now it's time for Meekah's home map. Ambrose Island. Oh, it's a bit tough to pick maps against Nezuko, because you could have expected him to have worse maps. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, the sound as well. Yeah, sure, that's not too loud. And it is a party between Moo and Meekah and myself and Alf and Afro and Glabalak. That is amazing. We are in the Berlin clubhouse, right where Banner is overlooking the DJ area. And I'm not sure what it has to say, but that's Nezuko's second match, I think, and the second time that he's prepared something for us. Hopefully it gets, it remains within some tastefulness, but I think it's the case, and appreciate being included on this one. That was the nice wrap up of the Berlin. So back to, so obviously I know more about Meekah, so I know more about their map pick process against Nezuko than Nezuko's against Meekah. Also, there is, I don't think, much with Nezuko just picking Berlin whenever he can, but Meekah picked Ambrose against Nezuko, and it's definitely not a super easy situation, because if I want to check Nezuko, I don't think he has some terribly bad win rates anymore. If I go all time, then he's 5-14 in Dubai, which is 26%. But otherwise, everything else is 43% or higher. And if I thin it out for the last 1 year, then the worst of Nezuko's maps were Mendoza, 1 loss, 0 wins. And Ambrose is the second worst, with 1 loss and 1 win and 3 losses. So Meekah can definitely play the odds here. But the one aspect I didn't know about this map pick is that apparently these players have played each other. And that was the case in RWC 2024. I think that was the tournament that Meekah entered and then had to drop out after 3 matches, is correct. Defeated Chrome, lost to Joker, and lost to Nez. It was still on course for a 3rd or 4th place finish. So that was their one encounter against each other, and that was a 4-2 Nezuko win over Meekah in the group stage. Nezuko won Berlin and Ambrose, but lost Hokkaido. So I could have sworn that Hokkaido was a banned map, but it was Bangkok and Colorado, close enough. So it is a Colorado ban by Meekah, and Nezuko is known to game those Colorado spins, but he's also known to game these Ambrose spins, and it will be decided by what kind of spin we get, because especially if it's some type of firearm, Nezuko will be shooting it from down below at the best, and even some crazier lineups if possible. But it is not a firearm spin, it is Noah Crest next up as the hippie with no target specification, and Sini Ankavanthan injected poison as a cook. Now if we as the community, or we specifically know or knew the button strat better, I suppose that it is kind of situated for these kind of spins. Getting the hippie first and working out the spin, catching Noel at the kind of a no man's land, and then work on Akka. But what we will see is the meta alternative, and sometimes it is the faster approach, I could not say. And the meta approach for these hippie spins is double seeker on Noel, get the hippie and get back to Noel at the 1 minute and 40-second mark, just too late for a single seeker. But now it being a double seeker, I'm very interested how this will work out, because obviously the next snap will be heard by both guards. So do you try to work out the ragdoll, or do you lure both of the guards away and spend a minute trying to work it out? Let's see Meekah's options. Meekah said they were a bit nervous in that Berlin, and it was just one wrong input that cost him the map. We can of course kind of see that the difference was on Nezuko's end anyway. But now it's all calmness on Meekah's end, getting the first disguise ahead of Nezuko and without using, I was gonna say wasting the Cheng, but it's using a Cheng, I guess. It's I think justifiable to use it. But after all, it is Meekah who's ahead in the RTA. The first emetic timing is about to run out. You can see that Noel is going back to his sick animation. And it seems that Meekah is going for bullet distraction. Kruger in the corner. It's not a soda can, what it is, it's a spray can to the other, and making this isolation twice as fast. The minimap is a bit weird. Hopefully they are turning around. They are still investigating the original throw, and Meekah gets out nicely, and that's I would say a big advantage from them, because Nezuko is going for the double throw, and it will take quite a bit longer to get there. Yeah, and Para is right, the cook of all people heard the next snap. It has of course a huge range, and the two closest NPCs were busy with other things. But Nez also gets Noel down and looking for someone to investigate. It looks like no one is, so I think it was a bit of a strange situation, and I think Dane and I and most of us will be still in isolation from Meekah. That was the one thing missing from the longest time, just getting Noel down quicker. Or I guess Noel's guards down quicker, but same deal. For Meekah, it seems like the spin is kind of over. Place the gun in the hideout, in a place where the guard will be able to see it. Of course, we can still end up having the GRP situation, but luckily the head doesn't turn on Aka's way and the prompt happens. One extra detail I don't know is if the cook was hidden on both players' sides. Could be a chance for randomness. I'm trying to see on Meekah's end, but doesn't seem like the militia soldiers will investigate in the remaining 5 seconds. Meekah gets the detonation, chest passing, but no one's nearby, and I think that's a 4-11. Very impressive finish on Meekah's end, tying the match. Akka had an infinitely long injected poison animation, but she is down on Nezuko's end and it will be photo finish range, but it is a difference which will be weighed very quickly by Nez. And we will go to the RNG maps at a score of 2-2. Both players definitely super confident on their own map picks. 411 plays 437, that's a 26-second difference. Phanium knows the decimals by the 25.5, but it's a quick wave. No, it's not. It's not a wave. Phanium said, "I will not even calculate this one," which I think is right. There is no, like, I'm kidding, but of course, if Phanium kept track of the approximate loading times, it is quite obvious that Nezuko didn't load for 26 seconds longer than Meekah. So obviously, just a correct decision, and we are not getting to a wave. Isle of Scale is the first random map. Looked delay only on our side due to final difference. Oh, the dump presses are late. Okay. Okay, let me get back into this. So Scale is the first of the RNG maps. Meekah is not... okay, it was fun once, but I need to hear my own thoughts, so no more parting. Yeah, I think we are going Scale into Santa Fortuna, which are two maps that Meekah did not appreciate seeing in the RNG map pool. I don't know if Nezuko feels opposite, like maybe Meekah just feels neutral about these maps. I don't think it would be a top map by Nez either. Meekah's 50-50 is, I'm curious, because that's probably pretty high up. Pretty low up, because they have such an impressive win rate. Scale 50%, Suppi 50%, 5 maps under 20%, 5 maps under 50%, sorry. But, and also 50% from the last year or so. So, definite hit or miss on Meekah's end. Hopefully Nez doesn't lose back-to-back scales. I guess that was the previous... Let's see what Nez's previous scale was. I think that's... I don't know. I don't understand the reference unless I said it wrong. And I said it's scale into scale, but... Only one scale today, and Nezuko's previous scale was in the previous match, Nezuko-chan versus Soviet Dubov, and that was a 4 minute 16 second and actually pretty impressively played spin, which had Raider and Jebediah block for I think a good 3.5 minute in-game time. Let's see if this spin will be better or worse than that one. Let me give the volume back to Nez for a while. We have Zoe Washington Loud SMG as the MOC and Sophia Washington Explosion Accident in the Knight's Armor. This spin might have two of the most typical approaches, one after the other, or I like walking. Dane gets this spin, because I think we will see a lot of walking. Definitely the walk between Sophia's floor and the Knight's Armor room, and then we'll see if obviously, then the players will have to go to the MOC room, and I mean, my main question is, will the players trigger MOC after? But Meekah starts with the Master of Ceremonies lure. It will be pretty interesting to see how it lines up with the Sophia ISO, because it cannot be a kill, but it cannot really even be a setup unless Meekah brought the gas canister. We will see. This spin is not... Once again, it's not loadout heavy, but there is some loadout involved. I can't think of a good loud SMG without checking it further before matches, but it's possible to get one, but I think it will be just the one-handed blind to use for this spin. Of course, one item to make the explosion accident remote, but now it's difficult. I don't think you bring the canister. After some deliberation, you would just... I don't think there's an obvious solution for this spin, which is the nice fun of it, because we will now see Meekah with the MOC and getting... Oh, that's rough for Meekah, and it's gonna be a restart as well. I'm just not even gonna do it half the time. I think that was another situation where the inputs on Meekah wasn't... it's not calibrated, the word I wanted to say, but yeah, just misclicking, mispressing, bumped into the lead guard instead of something else. Nezuko does a no KO setup, breaching charge on Sophia, accident kill, explosion, gets back into the lead guard, and what was gonna be a pretty interesting way of comparing two vastly different strats is now going to be a 2-minute Nezuko lead. And depending on the rest of his loadout, I think it might just be a demo stealer. Obviously, always the argument to try to bring the phone and isolate Zoe in the cliffside, but there are a couple of disguises which just doesn't make as much sense for, and I think the two main culprits would be the initiate along with the master of ceremonies. And it looks like this is the loud SMG that Nezuko is going for. It's not for the evidence, which I think just now locked himself out of it. Bit of a panic, tries to go back through the door. No, he keeps off completely. Still green guns somehow. That was a close shave on many cameras, but I mean, I don't know Nezuko's situation. Does he need a loud SMG, or was just gonna be a nice I guess a nice way to stop yourself and do a detour. I don't know how I don't know how to say it better. This will be the alternative for the SMG grab. This is the black I've never seen before. Obviously, it's not revolutionary, but I've never seen them sedated for this. Nice room with lots of firearms, kind of like a Colorado firearm spot. I think that had at least a shotgun as well, and maybe even an AR. Yes, I do want to say, like in this situation, I would do SMG. What I'm saying MOC. I mixed up these 3-letter abbreviations. I think from this point MOC is faster. Obviously still a lot of detour going on, and Nezuko may be missing that black for these final 2 KOs. Because, I mean, you don't necessarily have to KO the 2 guards outside, but this final moment of Nezuko's spin will be a loud gunshot heard by many NPCs. So you have to hide her and maybe change disguises. Tough situation for Meekah, who panics the elite guards but gets the 3 KOs down at 2 minutes and 22 seconds. Meekah also did replan. I don't think it's I don't think it was MOC start. But back to Architect, and Meekah has Sophia down, but obviously that's 2 minutes of the disadvantage that gonna be pretty impossible to get back on. That's pretty insane that Nezuko keeps the green guns there and the custodian stays unfound. It's a long subdue animation, and during which it's not gonna be seen, but Zoe is coming. Zoe might be seeing this body, or might be definitely gonna be seeing the custodian. Sees the gun, gets the full whoosh, and Nezuko restarts. First big mistake by Nezuko this match, and that is a huge lead back to Meekah, who, now that they had time to think about the rest of the spin and did a full replan, is now going towards the MOC area. I am not sure about the loadout once again, but it will be the same situation again. 3 NPCs to get down, only a flash phone to work with, along with the silence and the loud SMGs. But all the information necessary to finish the spin is in here. This is just a bit rough to get without a pistol or any sedatives. And that's a compromise. That's unfortunate from Meekah, because they will end up talking. It's very hard to see them not talk. I think they have to finish the conversation, and I think Meekah was just hoping that by enough distractions that combo will never take place anymore, but will have to be a Meekah restart. And now Nezuko is 1 minute and 2 seconds ahead, or no, 1 minute and now 5-6 into his run, which is like 45-second advantage. And now that I get to see Meekah's start with with both my eyes on them. I see that it is a double phone from Architect Start, so all Meekah wants or Meekah needs is the MOC disguise to get back here and then exit. I think with this setup it is definitely comparable to MOC. Especially loud MOC, that's an extra setup because you have to hide and drag bodies. Meekah didn't change. You mean change into the Elite Guard, I suppose? I think that would have been good. And I had to check my own stream because I didn't see what Nezuko ripped to, but it was an insta-fill after stopping blending in from the Knight's Armor pedestal. I'm not sure how it's said. Yeah, I've never seen anyone approach the Knight disguise change without a single KO. Like, kind of have to do all 3, but Nez did it well on his first attempt, but not the second. And Meekah now gets this nice peekaboo, but I would say that it's still gonna be seen by the Custodian, and that throw will be investigated by the MOC, but at least that probably means that... Oh, but the guard is going for it. But I guess now a peekaboo for the Custodian will solve this. The timings are pretty rough here because I don't know what the MOC will do. MOC self-isolates in the window, and the guard is coming back. Oh my goodness, for Meekah. There is just nothing that is working out. I think now both of them are kinda looking. I would definitely corner subdue here. Regular Q gets the job done. Holy, that's 3 down, but not without Meekah losing a year of their life. Now it's time to go back to get the Zoe kill, change into the lead guard, and then go for your way. Actually, this as a first kill is pretty rough. I would imagine that Meekah just proxies the MOC and ends the spin with it. No, it is looking like a Zoe kill. Nez is back into the no KO Knight Armor situation, and looks like he's been able to get out. Sophia down once again. I mean, the guard looking at his phone is doing a lot of heavy lifting for Nezuko, otherwise I think it would be a lot more spotting there. Still, I feel like this is a sketch strategy. Okay, so the Meekah did end up proxying the disguise, and it will be their second kill. The first one is Sophia explosion accident. Just gonna check if there's anything special about the approach. They're using the pipes, one pipe and probably the other one as well. This means that you don't need a key card, and also it means that you can't get caught on the cameras. It's all pretty similar, just try to get up any way necessary. Good cycles. Single shot with the SMG is nicely done. No one will see that KO, although Meekah was not sure for the longest time. And I think this will be 2 safe KOs. And Meekah will finally have Sophia down and Zoe in a very good situation. But this is gonna be pretty close, and I'm not envying Fenium at the moment, because this could very well be within 30 seconds of each other. Or should I say 45, because this spin has been now going on for more than 11.5 minutes. Crucial for Meekah that they didn't get caught on cameras, always catch while going down the stairs. Very clean double KO, triple KO. And starts to hide the bodies. That blue egg is in a very... Well, of course, but Nezuko needs to use the blue egg to get the loud SMG. I mean, it is really about when you finally start triggering the Master of Ceremonies lure, but it seems that it's still not the case. Meekah with 1 distraction and the brine from safe range to not get insta-spotted. Might be changing into a safe disguise to exit. No, it will be fine. All it takes is not get spotted by these enforcers, and of course the end is sketched, but I think Meekah had their troubles with this spin, but looks like they will be able to take this lead. Obviously, sketchy peekaboo, which can extend not into this room. And a full whoosh, and green found chest passing for Meekah. That is gonna be insanely lucky finish. They didn't take a coin, they went for the full whoosh, and somehow they get out with a 101% whoosh, but not more. Insane finish. Nezuko has another 25 seconds to finish, and it does look like that this could be a pretty streamlined second kill, but still there is KO, there is dragging, there is hiding. It will not be a photo finish, but that was a really impressive map. And I think Meekah is... Yep, he says green chest pass Lemao. Cannot blame them for their action. That is one tough map for Meekah out of the way. Time for the other one, Center for Suna, which I think is still their worst map statistically. Like, obviously if I click from RR1 to RR18, then it will be 23%, 3 wins, 1 tie, and the 11 losses, as you can see. If I look from R16 onwards, it's a lot more promising. It's 3 wins, 2 losses, 1 tie, 58%. So definitely improvements there, and very 6-7 minutes 20-second PB. I think that was just this tournament against Peter the Dutton, the Member of Parliament, Prime Minister Dudikins. Nez on the other hand is 7-5-1, which, I mean, it's slightly over 50%, right? It's 58. Same result if I look at it from a more recent angle. Slightly slower PB, but obviously from 13 attempts, from 7 wins, but you can't always get a spin, which is 2 village disguises, 2 mansion disguises, or something along those lines. So an 809 PB is perfectly fair. Only a minute 30 to go now. I'll mute for a drink and come back. So Meekah has recent experience just from the previous round. Let's see if Nezuko, okay, that's interesting. Nezuko obviously also only played 1 match. Wait, why am I saying obviously? Oh, so Nezuko and Meekah both started in round 2. Nezuko is the seeded player, but I guess Meekah was one of the lucky ones too. Or did Meekah get a forfeit? I need to check now. R18 brackets. Oh, yeah, I'm dumb. Meekah is... Well, it says Meekah is the 9th seed and Nezuko is the 8th seed. So this round seeds can start to match up against each other, and they usually do. But they both got a bye. I was somehow thinking that one of them came from round 1, but obviously not the case. But it is time for the first match point of this match. Meekah can clinch this win if they win Santa Fortuna, and it is Rico Delgado fall as the hippie, Jorge Franco consume poison as a submarine crew, and Andrea Martinez Cleaver as a sub-engineer. Rare emeticless spins, and I think emeticless spins usually do mean or equate to consume poison spins. Meekah keeps the Ambrose grenade, but also has the lethal poison. Nezuko had the pistol, the shank, the crowbar, along with the consume poison. And I know that the machete guide says that there are so many poisons that you never really need to pick one up, but I don't think they're in too convenient places, so I do agree with bringing one. We get the answer to Phanium's question. It is looking like a soft bump, but another 100% whoosh. Meekah is definitely on the luckier side today. And looks to be able to get this first isolation down. Oh, Rico goes the long way around, but I think that is all right. Don't skip, or don't miss the throw. Don't let Rico walk out of it, but it looks like he is now sick, and that will be a pretty good timing to get these 3 isolations. I would be surprised if you can get both the Cleaver and the sub-engineer, but if they had recent experience on it, they know better. It's already 120 into the round, but it was a pretty quick isolation. So we shall see. Nezuko is leaving Rico running, and Jorge, obviously not an issue for this spin. I would not be surprised if Nezuko attempts a hippie lure. Obviously the hippie mission story is mandatory for Jorge, but that can bring Rico to the caves as well. When Rico exits the mansion and starts going down those stairs, that's a lethal spot, which I think is a pretty viable spot for elimination. Hello, Buddhis. Welcome in. Welcome to Roulette Rivals. Yes, I expected. Oh, I don't like throws there, because what if the animation is long and Andrea is fast and she opens the door before the KO? Ooh, Time Cube with the amazing knowledge here. You gotta watch out for the sub-engineer. Or, yeah, the sub-engineer elite guard. I think it is right, this one, which Meekah is distracted now. Because after this conversation, the elite guard goes into the village and eventually goes towards Rico's mansion, looks up the stairs, or I guess the road or whatever thingy, and he can spot bodies, and he will spot bodies on Meekah's end. The only other thing I want to say is that Meekah might be able to finish before that, because I am thinking of those rips to happen around the 6-minute mark, closer to 7. I think Meekah can exit before 7 IGT. It is tough though, because still the whole consume poison story to set up. But hopefully they remember. Nezuko, of course, taking vastly different route with this one. Andrea is down, and yeah, I'm now expecting it to be the hippie. Well, it is technically the bus for Jorge, and then the submarine, perhaps, for Rico. It is pretty good timing, so that Rico will come through the mansion. I think what Nezuko is doing is faster. It is a tough situation. Also, Meekah has this potential rip in front of them. It's not guaranteed by any means, but something to look out for. But we will see. Meekah will get the second kill down, and I mean, it's gonna be interesting because it's not an impossibly long drag. Meekah gets the second kill down, gets into the caves. They could even get rid of all the illegal items. I can see an enforcer dot, but I think that's the praying civilian at the shrine. Nez is not leaving it to chance so far, and Meekah has remembered. I think this is the amount of drag that is more than fine, way more than fine. It's gonna be super fine. How far Meekah is going? This is now the unnecessary territory, because it was another 10-15 seconds gone, but obviously we are avoiding any sort of bodies being found. And it looks like, I mean, this is just really about placing the bus. Nezuko cannot lose out on the consume poison kill anymore, but I would need to see Rico come closer already. I think he's walking. I'm trying to see it on the minimap. He's definitely around here. Obviously in the mansion, which is just above Nezuko. It's interesting that Meekah is not keeping the hippie. I think this is making things much more difficult for Meekah, but it... Oh, the sentry guard has turned on again. These little things might make a difference. I cannot predict how close Nez is to finishing. Did he not do anything to... Oh, there is the elite guard for Meekah's end. Someone is going towards the bushes. But it looks like he goes past. He did not notice anything, just walks straight past. Oh, and Meekah didn't have the glue? I was sure that Meekah had the glue. Oh, that is a bit of a setback, or a bit slower than I expected. Meekah gives up on it and just uses the black. Amazing that the default start lady is just messing it up. But so I'm pretty sure that Meekah has glued the bus together as well. Or was that only Nezuko? Like, no one said anything in chat, so I assume that Meekah didn't screw up the bus yet. And Nez, of all the options, is going towards the hippo area for a... I mean, I think it's going to be third cycle hippo lure. It's not going to be an exit before 11 in game time. This is such a back and forth, and Meekah didn't mess up the bus. They could use the poison first and the glue second. And... I mean... I guess you can take the lead card now. They were looking towards the hippie. The hippie would have saved so much, I feel like. But as long as you place the bus, there's not much you can do. Like, not much you can do to lose the skill. Not many good submarine crews to get, so Meekah could lose to that, but obviously not manifesting anything in terms of potential challenges. It would be one. The one enforcer is walking away. Luckily no one else is enforcing the lead card. I guess it's better to crouch in case of any bad head turns, and indeed he starts to walk towards 47. It is now time to grab one submarine crew and go to your choice of exit. Is the guard coming for it? The guard is coming for it. I mean, Meekah won't have forever, but looks like he cancelled the throw. And the sub-crew is coming for the second one. Looks like the roaming elite is not a problem. And that should be a safe final disguise. For Nezuko, it is finally coming all together. Is it gonna be a live push? I guess it would have been much better if the kill is done one floor above, but with 2 more coins, I think Nez can get this push. I suppose this is a safe spot. I guess we'll know, because Nez will have to try. This is the only choice to do now. Green gun, still greens. Nezuko is going towards the exit. How long will it take for Meekah to get Jorge killed? This is gonna be insanely close at the end. It's been quite a while since Meekah put the bus down there, and if only they didn't take so long to grab the glue for the bus, if only they took the hippie disguise, it would have been so much easier. Looks like the prompt is there to blend in. People were worried about this one. And first try versus first try. I am not sure about the loading times there, but Nezuko is the first one to finish. And Jorge is still working for Meekah, so it will have to be a 4-4. Waiting for another 10 seconds. Obviously, it's a 45-second photo finish window again. Jorge now stopped, but it will still take a while until he tastes. Which seems can be about now. I don't know if it takes longer or shorter when the hippie is never involved. I want to say that some other lines are being said when it's not the hippie delivering it, but do not quote me on this one, and that will be frustrating for Meekah. It might be a finish. It is 41 seconds, but it will be a waivable difference, and we will go to map 5. Not many map 5s this tournament, but I think I can safely say that this will be one. Scrolling back, it was Moose Reverse against Boychuk, which went to 5 maps, and Soviet Duba versus Rookers, a very entertaining 7-3 was the other. So this is of 38 matches, only the third one to go to 5 maps. Hello Silent Sound and welcome in. Everyone came at the right time. Paris is the final map. Well, in all likelihood the final map of this match. It will come in less than 3 minutes. We have had a technically photo finish, but didn't get to the point where Nezuko could wave, and now we get to a technically photo finish, but Meekah could easily wave because 40-second difference. Along with, I think, 2 confident map wins. So pretty even so far, and it will be decided in this Paris decider. This, well, you can argue what the definition of a decider is, and under a first 6 rules that it is probably only map 6, but realistically, if we get to map 5, it is the one that decides the course of this match. Yeah, about the format of this tournament, I think we have had a pretty interesting time so far, and we haven't had many close score lines, but the two can be true at the same time. Obviously, these first couple rounds of the winner's bracket are about the seeded players entering the tournament, and well, they are scheduled to win those ones, and I think in most cases they did. For winner's bracket round 1, there is the potential for, obviously, the close encounters, and I think the Soviet match was a good indicator for that with 7-3, but I think the fact of the matter is that we have had, I think, 10 rookies enter the tournaments, 8 that have played their winners round 1 match. They couldn't play against each other, and they all played against experienced players, and I think it was Psychic Ducks, the only one who won their first ever match. obviously still good chances to do so in the losers bracket, but this should be about the time of the tournament when matches do get more and more exciting. Already 38 matches down and I think only like 50 to go, 55 to go, with 3 weeks and 2 days until the grand final, so definitely matches will slow down eventually.
Agent, get ready.
It is time for the deciding map. The 5-3 of Nezuko plays the 9-5 of Meekah. They can both know how to play these Paris spins, and I think might be a simple one to end things off. Viktor Novikov, silent shotgun security guard. Dalia Margolis, fiber wire chef. I think many people will think of double down immediately and with a quick planning just start to get going. I would be one of them, and let's see if we will end up losing to a better strat. Insta fireworks. Distract up, distract down. This is gonna be double down from Meekah. Nezuko is not in the map yet. It's gonna be the second load from them. It is going to... Well, he is trying something different. It will be Ethic start, and it will be Emetic Victor and probably a kill within 55 seconds. But then to go down to the chef and take the fireworks mode before that, I think it's a lot of detour. Even if Nezuko was in at the same time as Meekah, I don't think that would be the play against the double down. And Meekah, on the other hand, is not a ton that you can do in these spins to rip, I guess. Once again, I don't want to manifest rip possibilities there, but Meekah has a good 30 seconds to check this body away, change into the security guard. Now, it's a bit tight on timing, and Victor will be arriving in this area, but will be arriving alone, so they're gonna take the briefcase and probably lure Victor away to the side. Nezuko has used a shotgun shot, which I guess it's a quintuple shot or something like that. But this is gonna be really tight for Meekah. They are really fast on this. That is Victor coming. Dalia nearby. And Dalia did not hear the bullet distraction, or I guess the shotgun shot, so that is gonna be all right. Meekah just needs to lure her back to this corner, and I think that should be it. Waiting for anyone to notice these bodies, but I think the photographer lady is nowhere close. Maybe she saw the gun, but it's not gonna be effective for the last 15 seconds. Meekah did what they needed to do, a calm double down. And although you might be able to be a couple seconds faster, it was an awkward order of affairs there, but 2:32 will be a 2:34 exit, 2:52 real time. I think that will win any sort of photo finish, but do remember that Nezuko has 2 loads here. 12 seconds down, it will not be a finish in 17. So even with Dalia screaming, and I think she did scream. Is anyone investigating? I'm not seeing, but it seems that it will be the same in-game time, but it will be the first try of Meekah that takes this match 6-4. The second of our winners bracket round 3 matches ends with a bang. And I don't have game audio anymore, because, I mean, I think Ness might be talking, but it's fine. We'll leave him be. 16B by Meekah, and we can go to the brackets. Yeah, right up here. If I do anything, does it show on my screen? I guess it very faintly shows that Meekah up here in the second of winners bracket round 3 matches is the second player in the winners bracket round 4, because all the way down we have Phanium from the 8th section, Now we have Meekah from the second section. Meekah will play the winner of Scruffy versus Ducker, that so famous R15 6OC by Ducker. We also have Nezuko, who will be the second player to occupy a spot in Losers Round 4, and quite a bit of waiting ahead of him yet. Psychic Ducks will play Linden in the next couple days, I think tomorrow. Kamboychuk, who has played also well against Mu, will be waiting the winner of that match. And one of these three players, either the two rookies or Boychuk, will face Nezuko somewhere in the first half of next week. Somewhere around the middle of next week, shall I say, rather, in Losers Round 4. The timing is impeccable, because in 55 seconds we have Skylar versus Afro, the next match of this tournament, on incredible Glabag. This Glabag is sure incredible, but it is twitch.tv/Glabag, so close enough on that. That's of course the Discord name anyway. And we have one more match later on. TK47 will take on Pack in the Battle of Roulette Admins in 2 hours. But for now we have Skylar versus Afro, and I will not keep you any longer. We should be getting there for the start of the next match. Thank you everyone for watching. GG's to both players. Thank you Finian for adminning, and see you all next time.